Imagine your day slipping away in a blur of chaos. Your calendar is a patchwork of overlapping meetings, errands, and notifications, each one pulling you in a different direction. Your phone buzzes relentlessly, your inbox overflows, and your to-do list feels like a mountain you'll never climb. By evening, you're exhausted, yet you've barely touched what truly matters. Time with loved ones, a moment to breathe, or a pursuit that lights you up. You're not alone. In our fast-paced, distraction-filled world, time feels like an enemy slipping through your fingers as you juggle endless demands and battle overwhelm. But what if you could master your time, not by doing more, but by doing less with greater intention? Japanese minimalists have unlocked this secret using 6 powerful time management hacks rooted in philosophies like Danshari, Kaizen, and Ikigai to create lives that are focused, purposeful, and deeply fulfilling. These hacks aren't about cramming more into your day. They're about curating your time to prioritize what matters, decluttering distractions, and finding harmony in simplicity. Let's explore how these practices can transform your relationship with time, helping you live with clarity, freedom, and joy, no matter how busy life gets. Japanese minimalism is a philosophy that celebrates simplicity as a path to meaning, extending beyond physical clutter to how you manage your time. At its core is the art of purposeful empty space. Seen in traditional Japanese culture, where pauses in conversation or open spaces in homes create balance and clarity. In time management, is about creating intentional gaps in your schedule to reflect, rest, or simply be. Danshari, with its principles of refusing, discarding, and separating, helps you let go of time-wasting habits and commitments that don't serve you. Kaizen, the practice of small, continuous improvements, ensures you refine your time management gradually, making lasting change accessible. Ikigai, the pursuit of purpose, guides you to align your time with what brings joy and meaning. Wabi-Sabi, the embrace of imperfection, reminds you that a perfectly optimized day isn't the goal. Progress and presence are. Together, these philosophies form a holistic approach to time management that prioritizes quality over quantity, intention over busyness. In a world that glorifies hustle and multitasking, these 6 hacks are a quiet revolution, asking, what if time isn't the problem, but how you use it? What if managing time well means living well? Let's ground this in your reality. You're likely familiar with the stress of a packed schedule. Your days are filled with work deadlines, emails, chores, and social obligations, yet you rarely have time for what truly matters: your passions, your relationships, or even a moment to rest. Distractions are constant. Notifications pull you away from focus. Social media steals hours with mindless scrolling. And the pressure to keep up with trends or expectations leaves you feeling stretched thin. You might try to manage time with apps, planners, or to-do lists, only to find they add to the clutter, leaving you more overwhelmed. Your mind is a whirlwind of stress, guilt over unfinished tasks, and a vague sense that life is passing you by. This cycle of busyness, physical, digital, mental, traps you in a state of constant reaction, disconnected from your purpose and joy. The 6 Japanese minimalist hacks offer a way out, not by adding more tools or tasks, but by simplifying your approach to time, creating space for what lights you up, and letting go of what weighs you down. Here are the 6 time management hacks, each rooted in Japanese wisdom and designed to help you master your time and stay happy with less. The first hack is to create Ma by scheduling empty space. Block out 30 minutes daily with no tasks or screens. A pause for reflection, a walk, or simply sitting with your thoughts. This Ma-inspired gap, like the silence between musical notes, brings clarity and balance, reducing stress and amplifying your focus. The second hack is to practice danshari by refusing non-essential commitments. Review your calendar and say no to one obligation that doesn't align with your priorities, such as a low-value meeting or an event you're attending out of guilt. Discard time-wasting habits, like checking your phone during breaks, and separate emotionally from the pressure to be always on, freeing your time for what matters. The third hack is to prioritize with ikigai by aligning your time with purpose. List 3 activities that bring you joy or meaning: writing, connecting with family, exercise, and ensure they get prime time in your week, treating them as non-negotiable. The fourth hack is to embrace Kaizen by making small, daily improvements to your time management. Spend 5 minutes each evening planning the next day, identifying one key task to focus on, or declutter one distraction, like muting non-essential notifications. These tiny tweaks compound, creating a streamlined schedule without overwhelming you. The fifth hack is to practice mindfulness through monotasking, inspired by Zen principles. Focus on one task at a time: writing an email, eating lunch, talking to a colleague, without multitasking or checking your phone. This declutters your mind, making each moment more productive and joyful. The sixth hack is to cultivate gratitude for your time, drawing on Wabi-Sabi's appreciation for the fleeting. Each morning, reflect on one way you'll use your time meaningfully: a kind gesture, a creative pursuit, and at day's end, note one moment you're thankful for, like a quiet coffee or a child's laugh. This shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, fostering peace and purpose. The benefits of these hacks are profound, rippling across your life. Physically, a simplified schedule reduces stress-related tension, improves sleep, and boosts energy, as you're not constantly racing against time. Mentally, they enhance focus and clarity. Studies show that minimizing distractions and monotasking improve cognitive performance, as your brain isn't overwhelmed by competing demands. Emotionally, they foster joy and presence. When you prioritize meaningful activities and let go of guilt, you feel more connected to yourself and others. Financially, refusing unnecessary commitments, like costly social outings, saves money, aligning your time and budget with your values. Spiritually, these hacks align with Ikigai, helping you invest time in what brings purpose, whether it's creativity, relationships, or rest. Environmentally, a less hectic schedule reduces mindless consumption. Fewer rushed takeout meals or impulse buys, supporting sustainability. These benefits weave together, creating a life that feels balanced, intentional, and deeply fulfilling, with time as your ally, not your enemy. Contrast this with the habits many of us fall into. Chronic busyness, overloading your calendar, multitasking, saying yes to everything, creates a life of chaos. You might fill your day with low-value tasks, like endless emails or scrolling, leaving no time for what matters. Distractions, like notifications or social media, fragment your focus, draining your energy and productivity. The pressure to be constantly productive or available fuels guilt and stress, making you feel like you're never doing enough. Time management tools, like apps or planners, often add to the clutter, overwhelming you with more to track. The result is a life where time feels scarce. Your mind is cluttered, and your heart aches for meaning. The 6 Japanese minimalist hacks break this cycle by empowering you to curate your time, refuse distractions, and align your days with purpose. They're not about doing more, but doing what matters with intention, creating a life of clarity and joy. Let's paint a picture of these hacks in your life. Imagine starting your day with gratitude, reflecting on one way you'll use your time meaningfully, perhaps calling a friend or working on a hobby. You've blocked 30 minutes for Ma, a quiet pause to sip tea and think, grounding you in calm. At work, you monotask, focusing on one key project without checking your phone, feeling a surge of clarity and pride, guided by mindfulness. You've said no to a non-essential meeting, using the time for a walk that recharges you, inspired by Danshari. Your phone is free of distracting notifications, and your social media feed is curated to inspire, not drain, reflecting Kaizen's small improvements. You've prioritized an evening with family, aligning with Ikigai, and it fills your heart more than any busy event could. Each night, you plan tomorrow's key task and note a moment you're thankful for. A colleague's smile, a sunset, embracing Wabi-Sabi's fleeting beauty. These hacks, woven into your day, create a schedule that feels spacious, a mind that feels clear, and a life that feels joyful. To adopt these hacks, start with 1 or 2 and build from there. For Ma, block 30 minutes in your calendar today for a tech-free pause, perhaps mid-afternoon for a walk or reflection, and notice how it calms you. For Danshari, review your week and refuse one low-value commitment, like a webinar, and discard one time-wasting habit, like checking social media during lunch, separating from the guilt of saying no. To align with Ikigai, list 3 activities that bring you purpose: reading, gardening, connecting, and schedule one for this week, treating it as sacred. For Kaizen, spend 5 minutes tonight planning tomorrow, choosing one key task and muting one distracting app. Practice monotasking during one activity today, like eating breakfast, savoring each bite without your phone. Start a gratitude practice by noting one meaningful moment this evening, like a kind word or a quiet minute, inspired by Wabi-Sabi. These steps rooted in Japanese wisdom, are simple yet powerful, building a time-managed life step by step. Challenges will arise, and that's okay. You might feel guilty saying no to commitments, worried about disappointing others. Start small, decline one minor task, and communicate kindly, explaining you're prioritizing what matters. Distractions, like notifications or social media, can be hard to resist. Use Kaizen to mute one app at a time, building discipline gradually. Time scarcity can make these hacks feel impossible. Focus on micro actions. 1 minute of planning, 1 breath of mindfulness, to fit them into busy days. Social pressure to stay busy or always available can be strong. Remind yourself that these hacks are about your well-being, not others' expectations, and suggest low-key ways to connect, like a coffee chat instead of a big event. If mental clutter feels overwhelming, pair these hacks with mindfulness, like a deep breath before refusing a task. Be patient. These hacks are a journey, and every intentional choice is a step toward mastering your time. These hacks weave beautifully with other Japanese philosophies. Wabi-Sabi fosters gratitude for imperfect days, easing the pressure to optimize every moment. Danshari empowers you to let go of time-wasting habits and guilt, freeing your schedule and mind. Ikigai aligns your time with purpose, prioritizing what brings joy. Kaizen ensures lasting change through small, consistent actions. Matenai, the respect for resources, extends to time, encouraging you to use it thoughtfully, avoiding waste. Together, they create a holistic approach to living, one that values simplicity, presence, and meaning over busyness or distraction. Let's deepen this with more practices. Try a Ma morning. For 1 week, start your day with a 10-minute tech-free pause, sipping coffee, journaling, or stretching, setting a calm tone. Another practice is a time journal. For 3 days, track how you spend your time and identify one low-value activity to refuse, inspired by Danshari. To cultivate Ikigai, create a joy list of 5 activities that spark purpose and commit to one weekly, like painting or volunteering. For Kaizen, set a daily focus minute to review your key task and clear one distraction, like closing unnecessary tabs. Practice a gratitude pause each evening, reflecting on one moment that made your day meaningful, aligning with Wabi-Sabi. These exercises, flexible and personal, make time management a sustainable part of your life. Let's also explore how these hacks transform your relationships. A cluttered schedule can strain connections, leaving you too busy for meaningful moments. By creating Ma, you carve out time for presence, a deep conversation, a shared laugh. Monotasking your attention during interactions, inspired by mindfulness, fosters trust and intimacy. Refusing low-value commitments, guided by Danshari, frees you to prioritize loved ones, aligning with Ikigai. Gratitude, rooted in Wabi-Sabi, helps you appreciate imperfect relationships, loving people for their quirks. By managing time well, you make space for vulnerability, connection, and love, enriching your life and others. Let's ground this in a story. Meet Aiko, a 34-year-old accountant overwhelmed by time. Her days were a blur of work, emails, and social events, leaving her drained and disconnected. Her mind was cluttered with stress and guilt over unfinished tasks. One day, a friend shared a podcast on Japanese minimalism, introducing Aiko to Ma and Ikigai. She started small, blocking 15 minutes daily for a tech-free pause, finding calm in quiet reflection. She practiced danshari, refusing a non-essential meeting and discarding the habit of checking her phone during breaks. Feeling lighter, she aligned her evenings with Ikigai, reserving time for painting, her true passion. She used Kaizen, spending 5 minutes nightly planning her key task, and monotasked at work, boosting her focus. Daily, she noted a moment of gratitude, a colleague's help, a sunset, embracing Wabi-Sabi. Over months, Aiko's schedule became spacious, her mind clear, her relationships richer. These hacks didn't add hours, but they transformed her time, making her life focused, purposeful, and joyful. As you embrace these hacks, envision the life you're crafting. A schedule with space for rest, creativity, and connection. A mind free of clutter, alive with clarity and purpose. A heart full of gratitude, finding joy in each moment. Japanese minimalism isn't about controlling time. It's about curating it, making every hour count. It's a rebellion against the chaos of busyness, a reclaiming of your focus, your freedom, your soul. You don't need more hours, more tools, or more hustle. You need only to manage your time with intention and let joy unfold. So, begin today. Right now, choose one hack, block a pause, say no, name a gratitude, and take one step. Carry this question forward. How can I use my time to live more fully? Ask it when you plan, work, or rest. Trust that each intentional choice is a step toward mastery, a brick in the foundation of a simpler, more meaningful life. You're not just managing time, you're crafting a life of peace, purpose, and joy. Welcome to the art of Japanese minimalist time management. Time management.